911, this is Belinda. Where's your emergency?
Yes, 1861 Liffey Road.
What's going on out there?
Say something outside. I heard this lady on top right now.
Do what?
She's saying that there was no vehicle involved, that people dragged her out of her house and set her on fire.
When I arrived, I saw the victim sitting on the front porch, severely burned from head to toe, with her arms straight out. She was rocking back and forth.
Her face was severely deformed. Her jaw was broke.
Told us she was tased, beat with a crowbar, and then set on fire. I remember her skin being burnt so bad it was fluffing off, kind of like peeled back skin.
She had pieces of clothing that were burned and charred to her neck.
Sat on the porch outside his home in Pensacola, Florida on the 24th of March 2010, Terrence Hendrick began hearing a faint voice coming from the forest in front of his home, which at first, he couldn't make out what the faint voice was saying, but he soon realized it was moaning for help. He then saw a figure stumble out of the forest and began going towards him. The person had been set on fire and Terrence was unable to tell what the person's real skin color was as their skin was burnt black and they were beyond recognition. Terrence called for an ambulance and sat with the person on his porch as they waited for an ambulance to arrive. The first EMT got there at 9:24 p.m. to find the victim with their arms stretched out as they were rocking back and forth in pain. Their burns were so severe that the EMT couldn't tell if they were wearing clothes. The EMT was unable to give them much medical assistance due to the burns and noted that more than 90% of their body was burnt. He saw the victim had extreme trauma to their head and that their jaw was broken or dislocated and they were finding it hard to talk. The only medical assistance he was able to offer was stabilizing their neck, but he couldn't do this as when he tried to touch their skin, the skin was falling off onto his gloves.
The victim was a 19-year-old woman called Audreanna Zimmerman and she had second-degree burns to 100% of her body. The EMT knew that not much could be done for her as her burns were so severe, so as they waited for an ambulance to arrive, the EMT started asking Audreanna who had done this to her. She named her attackers as Tina, Heather and Brittany, gave him their addresses and told him how they had dragged her out of a house, tossed her and beat her over the head with a crowbar before setting her on fire. An ambulance arrived within minutes and when she was inside, she continuously asked if she was going to survive and asking them to find and protect her children. Inside the ambulance, they were asking her what had happened and she told him how they had poured gasoline over her then set her on fire. They asked her why and she said, "I thought we had made up." 19-year-old Audreanna was then given morphine for her pain before she then slipped into a coma. Within a few hours, detectives went to bring Tina, Heather and Brittany in for questioning. They all lived at the Cypress Trail Mobile Home Park where Audreanna had also been living for the last few months. In the last 4 months, police had been called to this trailer park 25 times and it was rumored that there was drug distribution going on in the trailer park. Detectives knocked at trailer number 3, the home of Tina Brown and her 16-year-old daughter Brittany Miller, and then knocked at trailer number 1, where Heather Lee and her husband Darren Lee lived at. No one answered, but detectives stayed there and kept knocking for over an hour until Heather Lee finally answered the door to her trailer home, with her husband Darren and Tina Brown inside. All 3 were brought in for questioning.
No, man, I'm alright. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling, man. I'm copacetic right now. Oh, yeah. All right, know that. I'm really trying to do, but I would tell you when I get home. 477. Yeah. I'm for real. I'm gonna call you right back, man.
I ain't getting off this goddamn phone.
Who is it? I got to, man. I don't know, man. He gonna take my phone.
You done? Did you grab the phone? Okay. Oh. How you doing? I'm Investigator Lee Tyree, and this is Investigator Tom Watts.
Movies.
Okay, so you, Darren, and Tina were sitting in the living room. Heather were sitting there in the living room watching movies. Mm-hmm. And when the cops knocked on the door, what'd y'all do?
We were sitting there.
Okay. Why didn't you answer the door?
It ain't my door.
Okay. Did they do anything special when the cops knocked on the door? Turn out the lights, turn off TV?
The lights were already off because we were being nosy, looking out the window, seeing what's going on next door.
Tina haven't been at my house all night.
Okay, so you sitting there in the living room watching movies.
I just laid there because I was asleep.
Did she ever come in the house after she told you the police was there?
She came in the house and she sat down.
In your house?
Yeah, she sat on my couch.
And what did she?
And I asked her what was going on, and she told me she didn't know.
I'm confused here because Darren told me that you and Tina were there and cooking all night.
Tina was there when I was cooking earlier.
Okay.
But she wasn't out there all night.
Where'd she go?
She had left. She told me she was going home.
Okay. About what time was that?
It was what time I was cooking. It was getting dark when I was cooking, and I stopped cooking about 6 or 7.
So Tina left around 6 or 7?
Yeah, she left.
Okay. And when did she come back over to your house?
She came back probably like 30 minutes to an hour later.
So she was gone for 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
And she comes back and the cops show up right at the same time?
She came in and she said the cops outside.
Did you see the cops outside that time?
I got up and I looked and I seen the lights. You could see the spotlights. I see the spotlights.
And where are they at?
They was outside.
Are they outside?
They was outside of Tina's house.
They were outside of Tina's house?
They was outside of Tina's house.
Were they outside of Audreanna's house at all or no?
When I had came out, they was outside of Audreanna's house.
Okay, that's
when they knocked on the door
when
and
you
I
answered
came.
the door.
Yeah, when I answered
you didn't answer the door for like an hour.
They didn't knock on my door.
Oh yeah, they beat on that door.
Hold on, don't answer the door. And I asked her why.
Okay. We're getting a big diversity in this story.
And I'm gonna tell you like it is. Audreanna is my friend. I would never hurt her. Tina came to my house and she told me not to answer my door. I asked her why. She said, because the cops is out there. That's when she said, where are the cops at? I said, they down there by your house. Why you keep asking me where the cops at? Mm-hmm. And she wouldn't never say. She started
was she acting nervous?
She was acting nervous. She started back puffing on a cigarette.
Did she look like she was been running, or did she look like she'd been in a fight?
She was acting normal.
Your question.
She was acting normal.
You said when we asked.
And I said, Tina, you seen Audreanna tonight? She said, no, I haven't seen that tonight.
And she didn't tell you why she didn't want you to answer the door.
She didn't say anything about why not to answer the door.
But she did tell you not to answer the door.
Yeah. And I told her, I said, I don't have anything to hide. I'm going to open my door. And then I got up and I said, who is it? And they said the sheriff's department. And I opened.
You know what happened to Audreanna tonight?
No, I don't. Heather just said she got beat up, but that's all I know.
A little bit more than that. And what was Darren doing while y'all were over there cooking? Anything?
Laying on the couch watching movies.
Okay. All right, but you were home all night. You didn't see any kind of disturbance going on over there before the cops came over there or anything?
No, we would have heard something.
You said you saw Audreanna earlier today? Mm-hmm. What time was that?
Audreanna was coming and going on a bicycle.
Okay. You remember the last time you saw her? Was it while you were still over at Heather and Darren's?
I didn't come back out when I went to their house. We were cooking then.
Okay. So it had to have been before sunset. Mm-hmm. So you saw her during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And once you went over to Heather and Darren's, you never left there?
No.
You didn't go get anything or go anywhere at all?
I don't think so.
We're going to go out there. We know what happened out there. It's just going to be a matter of getting fingerprints and evidence back, okay?
Out where? It happened at her house?
No, it didn't.
It started at her house.
Right.
And then it went somewhere else.
What started at her house?
That's the reason we're here.
Well, we got some issues, okay? We're getting told that she's in pretty critical condition at this point and not likely to make it. So that's why we're here.
Do you understand what he's saying? Not likely to make it.
Yeah, she's about to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
That changed gears. When she dies, it's going to change gears. Okay?
I didn't do anything to her.
Okay. I don't want you to tell me anything other than the truth. Okay?
I didn't do it.
Okay. Still got a problem.
I've been sleeping with a lot of girls, a lot of guys around there.
I realize that.
One of them could have did it. I didn't do it. I promised to go.
A little bit what's going on, okay? We did get a chance to talk to Audreanna before she went to the hospital.
Yes.
She told us a few things. She told us who did this to her.
Yes.
She told us where they took her, and what they did to her.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Why do you think I'm talking to you?
I don't know. I would never hurt her. I always have protected her when she got into it with people in that trailer park. At the house all the time, and I've been trying to find out where she was at. Everybody telling me they didn't know where she was at.
Heather, why would you be wondering where she's at?
Because she always hang out with me every night. We always hang out every night. And I feed her kids and everything.
The last thing she told us was you came in there along with your friends, dragged her out of the house.
I put down everything I love. I put down my children's life. Burned her?
Yeah. And that's the last thing she told us.
Burned her?
Yes.
See, I ain't know nothing about her getting burned.
So tell me, what went on tonight?
I didn't see her tonight. I see her earlier and I been at my only friend I was closest to.
Now, Heather, you know, this is all, when he talked to you earlier and all that, you wasn't upset like this. Why are you upset now?
I was crying because I didn't know that. I didn't know that she was in intensive care. The lady told me she was in intensive care and everything.
There's video of you in that car talking to your husband. You ain't talking like this.
He was asking me, did I see her today? I told him I seen her earlier today.
Well, you know, we watched the video too, and we saw how you answered this question.
I don't care. I didn't have anything to do with this. I'm upset because this is my friend. We talking about this is my friend. You said that's going to die. This is my friend. You said going to die. That's why I'm upset because you telling me my friend's going to die. I've been protecting her. I've been protecting her. I've been talking to her mama every time she get into it with them girls.
Who you got to protect her from?
Because she been getting into it with Tina and everybody.
Okay, so what's her and Tina got a beef over? Her and Tina said they get along fine.
Me and Audreanna being just like that.
What's wrong with Tina's the one hanging out at your house tonight, right?
Yes, all of us is friends, but she wanted me to go out of town with her to be her mom. And I promised her I was going to go with her.
Heather's saying you're gone for half an hour to an hour tonight.
I was not gone for no
After
half
dinner.
an hour to an hour.
And you come back right before the cops are over there. Cops are over there around 10 o'clock. So from 9 to 10, I got you unaccounted for. So why is it that Heather's saying that your daughter didn't come by her house, that she went by your house?
Who went by my house?
Your daughter.
My daughter was at my house, supposedly.
Okay.
And she came to Heather's house.
We asked her if Brittany came by her house at all today. She said no. She said the only time she saw Brittany right after school at your house, and that's the only time she saw her today.
Well, maybe she didn't see her. I saw Brittany. When they asked who was at the door, Brittany said, "It's me, Mama." I opened the door. I went outside.
Trust me, she's cooperating with this as far as when we ask her stuff. Mm-hmm. And we asked her specifically, was Brittany at your house today?
At my house?
At her house. I'm talking to Heather at this point.
Okay.
And Heather's saying no.
She was never inside of Heather's house.
I asked Heather if you were over at her house, and she said yes, she came over around dinner time. Mm-hmm. And then she said you left for half an hour to an hour. And that when you come back, you come in a hurry, nervous, saying the cops are outside, don't answer the door. Why is Heather telling me this?
You tell me. If me and Heather were together doing this, then how is Heather going to be already in the house and I'm not in the house?
Don't know. Out there last week to talk to her about the problems she had in her neighborhood?
Yeah, they talked to me too.
Okay. So you were there. What was the problem?
Her and another girl come out there to fight Audreanna because Audreanna was supposed to have gotten smart with her on the phone.
Okay.
And Audreanna's boyfriend was there, Andre Smith. And he sent Audreanna in the house. No, he came outside the house, and he was saying that I was in the middle of that, which I didn't even know the white girl. And he said, he cussed all the kids out and me that was outside. And he told Audreanna to go in the house and get that thing or whatever. She came back outside on the porch. She was on the porch cussing, and she came out in the walkway, and she tried to tase my daughter.
Who tried to tase your daughter?
Audreanna.
Audreanna got a taser? What kind of taser?
I just think it was a black one.
A black one?
She said that,
You seen it?
Yeah, everybody out there saw it. I just know it was black.
Okay.
And it made a loud noise.
Okay.
Everybody out there saw it.
Have any problems with Ariana?
Audreanna had got into it, and Audreanna tried to tase her. That's all that Brittany had told me. They had got into it, and Audreanna tried to tase her.
How long ago was this?
I think that was like 3 weeks ago. They had got into it.
What kind of taser she got? Who has a taser?
Brittany had a taser.
Did the taser belong to Brittany?
I'm not sure.
What that taser look like?
I seen it once before. It was big. It was long. It was a long taser. It was made.
What color?
Black.
Okay.
It was black. It was probably about that long. It had like little things on the side of it. I never seen the taser before. That was the first time I ever seen it. When I seen it.
How you know it was Brittany's?
Brittany had it, so I don't know.
Have you ever seen Brittany with that taser before this?
No. Today was the first time I seen her with it.
You saw Tina today with her?
Today?
Today was the first time.
Today you saw Tina.
I seen Brittany with it on the counter earlier.
Today.
Earlier today, it was laying on a counter
in her house, in Tina's house.
And I seen that taser, and I asked her. I said, "What is that taser for?" And they told me to stay out of grown folks' business.
During the time investigators were interrogating Tina Brown and Heather Lee, they were trying to locate Tina's 16-year-old daughter, Brittany Miller. The next morning they were told that Brittany and her mom's car had been spotted at her trailer house, so detectives went there and brought Brittany in for questioning. At this point, she had a cast on her and her finger was broken. She told investigators that she had been hanging out with her friends, Mallory and Jessica, then she had gone to hospital that night. She was read her rights and asked to sign a form confirming that they had read her rights, but she struggled to sign it as her finger was broken. Detectives released Tina, Heather and Brittany while Audreanna was still in hospital in a coma. They were able to find evidence 2 miles away from the trailer park, in the woods off of Ashland Avenue. This is where Audreanna had been attacked and set on fire. Investigators went there and found a crowbar that had blood on it. They found burnt clothing which was found to be Audreanna's, and found tire tracks that matched Tina Brown's SUV vehicle, and inside her vehicle was blood smeared on the headrest and across the dashboard. A black taser was lying on the grass and a hair weave was found there, which detectives believed was Tina's hair weave, so back at the station, they took a picture of the back of Tina's head, which had hair missing, matching the weave found in the forest of the attack. While the 3 of them were not in police custody, Tina began telling people what she had really done to Audreanna. A call came in to detectives on the 7th of April, 2010, from a family member of Tina's that lived in Illinois, informing them how Tina had phoned her mom and explained to her how she, Brittany and Heather had been attacking Audreanna that day when she had tried to escape, so she and Brittany had began arguing when Brittany jumped on Audreanna to stop her from fleeing. When she tried again to escape, Tina told her mom that she had then set Audreanna on fire then drove away. Detectives found out how Tina had told one of her friends how she had attacked and set Audreanna on fire and told her friend she set her on fire and didn't even look back. She then asked this same friend to kill Audreanna in the hospital when she found out she was still alive, but the friend said no and told the police. To add to this all, police then received a call from someone who went to school with Brittany telling police how Brittany and Tina were harassing her to pretend to be Brittany and take a polygraph test so she would pass. On the 8th of April, still in hospital and never having woken up from her coma, Audreanna Zimmerman passed away, only 5 days from what would have been her 20th birthday, and that same day of her passing away, Tina, Heather and Brittany were then arrested.
What do we think happened? Good, Tom.
On that particular night, you, Brittany, and Heather were gotten in a verbal altercation, a physical altercation with Audreanna Zimmerman.
Okay.
Okay. The fight kind of escalated a little bit, got out of hand. She was attacked with a pry bar, whatever you want to call it, crowbar. And then she was disabled with a stun gun and then set on fire.
And all this was supposed to happen in the trailer park and nobody heard it.
Not at the trailer. I didn't say at the trailer park. I'm saying during that night. It originated at the trailer park. You, Brittany, Heather, and maybe one or two other people transported her over to the Ashland Avenue on the gas lines, and that's where the
what? What?
Ashland Avenue.
What is that?
It's another road over by the house. And that's where it went bad. We got information that you're involved in it.
Not only did our victim name you,
You know
first
what?
and last
We
name,
went and talked to those
not
people
only
yesterday.
did they name Heather, not only did they name your daughter, you've also told people. You know, that's how we know the story too.
Me?
Yeah. Why don't you let me finish telling?
Okay.
Okay?
Go ahead.
We hear that you used lighter fluid, poured it on her and lit her up. And you're mad at Brittany because she got up off the girl and that's how she got up and got to run away.
I'm mad at my baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else, sir?
Yeah.
What else? What else is it?
She told two people.
Who?
She told the fire chief and she told the EMS supervisor.
Okay. Now, when did she do that?
Right before.
Audreanna's supposed to have told these people this. Wouldn't you think that she would have told them everything that can happen if you land on the ground and you burning up and you about to die?
She told everything she could was the pain she was in at that time, and they didn't give her long because they had to put her out. She said, you know, EMS supervisor told her, she kept asking her, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? She said, I'm going to do the best we can for you. I'm here telling people you killed that girl. You're talking to your relatives and telling them that, and they calling us. But you're talking to somebody and telling them that, well, if you go ahead and die, y'all be good to go. Well, that ain't the case, is it? Because she died. She died last night. Succumbs to her wounds.
They told us that she was in a coma yesterday.
She died last night.
She died last night. Why do you think we come back out there like gangbusters today?
Mm-hmm. That's why you're under arrest for murder.
Dad is the one who told us that.
Who?
Our lawyer's Gene, his dad. He said he called down there and they said that she was in a deep coma.
Well, she didn't come out of it. But guess what? We got information from the ME that she didn't make it because of the burns. Now you sit there, you think about it. You think about what we're saying. That woman, those kids would never see their mama again. You've got a chance to see your kids.
You think I don't know that?
You got a chance to see your kids again somewhere down the road. Now, like I said, we're not going to sit here with you as long as we did the other night. Maybe you didn't mean for it to be this way, but that's what I said. We don't know. So you need us to be able to tell your side of the story when it comes time to go before the judge. And by you just sitting over there, not, thinking we don't have nothing. We've only gave you a little bit of what we got. And believe me, it's not hearsay. We know that that night those clothes were taken and burned that y'all were wearing.
Burn where? We still had the same clothes on the next morning when they came to get us.
Don't you have two small children? You know these children?
Yes, I know them.
Okay. This is their mama they ain't never going to see again.
And that oldest I think the oldest one was a boy, correct? He saw this. He saw the stuff going down at the trailer park that night.
No, when those people said that those babies was locked up in the room.
I'm saying the people said they saw all the commotion with us at their all's house that night. They were sitting in back of that patrol car. They knew something was wrong. You now, when we walk out this door this afternoon, there's not next time you see me, we'll be in a courtroom.
Either way it go, I ain't going home. So, right.
But Tina, I don't want to walk out this door.
I want to talk, but I'm not saying nothing what I want to tell.
I can't hear what you said.
What'd you say? You
Usually when I'm talking to somebody about a murder that's happened, and I'm giving them that advice that I think they should talk to me, because I realize it's probably one of the last things you want to talk to a person about. And certainly you don't want to tell the cops about it. But I think the thing that keep in mind and what I reiterate to these people is that, if there's circumstances, if there's a reasoning behind this that can be mitigating, I mean, if there's a reason why this happened that, shows why you did this, it had to be agonizing. And then to run a distance that she ran, because we know, I mean, the burnt clothes and her shoes and everything is right there in the woods. To run that distance to a house and beg for help and to wait there, still cooking, for the ambulance to get there. And then the last thing you're saying is, besides telling who your accusers are, am I going to see my kids? Am I going to live? Those are your last questions before you're knocked out and told, hey, you may or may not talk to somebody.
Let me tell you something. That's her body. Hey, let me look at. I want you to look at him so I know you understand what I'm saying. The medical staff and the medical examiner's office didn't even know if this girl was white or black female or white female, because she was so burnt so bad. They didn't have a copy of our report at the time. You wouldn't want this to happen to you, would you? You wouldn't want to go out this way, would you? Huh? Okay, we're gonna transport you across the street. Just hands right there right now.
Okay. Lord have mercy. Come back. And heart was terrorized. Please, Audreanna. I told you. Oh, you was a sweet girl. Oh, I tried to avoid.
Although they had their suspects, detectives were left scratching their heads as to the motive behind the brutal murder. They soon found the motive, though.
Tell me what was going on. There's been a discussion between us about an accusation flying around between you being accused of sleeping with your neighbor and friend of your wife. Is that correct? Yeah. What's her name? Tina Brown, okay. So the accusation is that you've been sleeping with Tina Brown, and who has been making these accusations?
Everybody.
Yeah. Has Audreanna Zimmerman been making those accusations?
Yes, my wife told me that. She told her that today.
Okay, so your wife told you that Audreanna had reported to her that you've been sleeping with Tina Brown. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You done?
Yeah.
All right. Who's that, Heather?
The tenderoni.
Huh?
No, the little tenderoni, man.
Oh, sorry. When you said you were on the phone with your sugar thing or whatever just now, was it Tina you were talking to?
No, it's somebody else.
Okay. But you told me that night you were seeing Tina.
Yeah.
Okay. So is she not your sugar thing?
Yeah, that's my old mama.
Okay. That's the old mama. Okay. All right. Did you and Ms. Zimmerman have any kind of relationship?
Somewhere.
Okay. Did y'all have?
Somewhere.
Okay. This ain't like Monica Lewinsky, man. We you know, did you have sex with her or didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you had sexual intercourse with Ms. Zimmerman.
Yeah.
Did your wife know of this?
No.
Did your wife know of you having sex with Tina?
No.
I bet she don't know about this other thing you got on the side either, does she? Okay. Okay. So, have you been accused by Heather of having sex with Zimmerman?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Only Tina.
Did Tina make any accusations? I mean, Tina probably knows that you're sleeping with Zimmerman, doesn't she? Okay, so none of your girls know that you're sleeping with the other one. You're doing a good game, right? Okay. So, Heather is aware of the accusations of you having sex with Tina.
Yeah.
But her and Tina are still tight cooking fish together. See, that's what blows my mind, man. You got a good game going on. If them two, knowing the accusation there, you still got them over there cooking fish together. Either you got a good game or Tina does, because you're playing it off well. So, you know, me and Rusty sat there and laughed about that all night, but we couldn't figure out how you were getting away with that, man, because our wives would, you know, we'd be done. They'd have our cars and our boats and everything else, you know. So you getting away with.
They believe that Audreanna had told Heather that Darren was cheating on her with Tina Brown, but at the same time, Audreanna was also sleeping with Heather's husband, and it came out that months earlier, Darren and Audreanna had been together in a hotel room when Heather came and threatened Audreanna with a box cutter while yelling that she would get her. At trial, we finally learned what truly happened to Audreanna that fateful night. Tina Brown had purposely lured Audreanna to her trailer that night, saying they could repair their friendship on the 24th of March, 2010. As they were waiting for Audreanna to arrive, Heather was showing Tina how to use the stun gun in her kitchen, and Brittany began telling her own friend that they were all getting ready to kill Audreanna. Audreanna then went into the trailer around 9 p.m. and within minutes, Tina started using the stun gun on her over and over again, causing her to fall to the floor, where Tina then continued using the stun gun on Audreanna while she was screaming and crying, so she was then pulled into the bathroom, and there, Brittany smacked her in the face, then Heather put a sock in her mouth. The three then put Audreanna into the trunk of Tina Brown's car and drove to the forest, where they all then got out, and Tina carried on using the stun gun on her and Brittany was smashing her with a crowbar. Then Tina and Brittany decided to swap their weapons with each other before carrying on their brutal attack. Brittany then dropped her weapon and started punching Audreanna, while her mom, Tina Brown, went to her car and retrieved a can of gasoline, went back over to Audreanna and poured the gasoline over her, then using a lighter, she set her on fire. As Audreanna lay there burning, Tina Brown began jumping up and down, screaming, "Burn, bitch, burn." The three of them then stood there watching happily as she burned for a few minutes. They then got into Tina's car and drove away, leaving Audreanna. Tina Brown soon became the third woman in Florida sitting on death row, as at trial, she received the death penalty. Her daughter, Brittany Miller, got life without parole, and Heather Lee took a plea deal in exchange for testifying against Tina Brown, allowing Heather to get 25 years in prison.